Good day, everybody. Okay, guess what? We're finally starting our similarity project, and that would be you are going to get the chance to make a enlargement of any object that you would like. So we'll talk more about the rules on that as we go through the project of the packet. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to go through each page and explain to you what's going on with the project. So make sure that you do have your pink packet with you. So make sure that gets handed out. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is scale models. What is a scale model? If you take a look at this picture here, this is a scale model of a home that was built somewhere in snow country. See all the snow around it. And what it was is, you can see that's a pretty big fancy house. So whoever wanted it built wanted to see what it was going to look like. They had the money to say, build me a scale model first, and so that I can make sure that it has all the features that I would like, and it doesn't have any features I would not want. So the architect built a scale model of it. That's what we're talking about. We are going to be creating a larger model of the object. So you're seeing here the Expo pen, which many of you have seen hanging from my ceiling by my desk. And you can see that's about a 10 times. I don't even think it's 10 times. You'll be surprised at how much when you start multiplying the dimensions of these objects, how much bigger it gets by only going 3 or 4 or 5 times bigger. But when you look at the regular pen and look at the pen that's in the classroom, you can see it's quite a bit larger. It's the same with the cup of noodle soup. So we're going to be creating a larger model. All of our projects are going to be enlarged. None of them will be scale models of something bigger. And the reason for that is because I need to measure the dimensions of the original model for your grade and of your model that you've created, to make sure this is math project, so we want to make sure we get the math right also. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what scale models are. And they're used in all kinds of, developers use them to show what a home development will look like. If you're building any kind of an institution on a large scale, a school, a hospital, a business park, the architects have a scale model built so that those paying for it can see what the campus will look like after it's built. So they have a very good idea of exactly what they're getting, and that it has the dimensions and the scale that they want it to have for whatever the purpose of the project is. So the first thing you're going to be doing, you see down here, it says research. So you're going to research a career as a professional model maker. And you do have to be careful on that, because there are the runway models that model men, women that model clothing. This is not the kind of model we're talking about, so you do have to be kind of specific when you do your Google search on your Chromebook with this. So you will be looking for scale model makers. Research, and it's right here, research scale models, and find out what materials are used to create scale models and why they are done. So you're going to get an idea of how this is used in real life. Now, as you are doing that, there is a set of questions that you will be answering. Now, you are going to select one person to work with. So there will be no more than 2 people on any project, because testing is going on with 11th graders. 10th graders will work with 10th graders, or 12th, if I have any 12th graders. They can work together, 10th and 12th. But 11th graders will work with the 11th graders. And the reason for that is, as we have our long block periods where we're going to be in the classroom for 4 hours, I don't want anybody sitting there saying the 11th grader that I'm working with is not here and they've got all the materials, or I don't know what to do without them. So 10th graders with 10th graders, 11th graders with 11th graders. And to the 11th graders, we may be modifying this project for you because you will be missing so much class time. So I will be talking to you about that. I know some of you are anxious to do the project exactly as it is, so you'll be doing more of it on your own with your partner at home, however that will work, which is awesome. But because there's so much class time that we are going to have, I want to make sure that everybody picks their partner wisely. It's going to be difficult for a lot of people who don't show up a lot. If you are the person that is here on a daily basis, make sure your partner is also here on a daily basis, or that you communicate with them and you're the one that brings the materials to school. So it's very important. There will be no excuses for anybody not working because their partner has all the materials, or their partner has this information or that information. You must communicate. You get to pick your partner. Therefore, choose wisely. Now, the other option is working alone. If you are not comfortable working with somebody, this is the kind of project that is a lot of fun to work with someone on. But if you're more comfortable working on your own, I will allow that. I've always done this as single people, in single, everybody turning one in. But I'm going to allow partners this year, and just see what ends up happening with that. I think we'll probably get some really cool stuff with two minds working together to create something fabulous. But it is a choice. One person by themselves or two people, but no more than two people in any group. Okay, so what you guys are going to do is, the first thing you're going to work on today is figuring out what you want to create. And you will be picking something. For instance, go with dimensions that are more block kind of dimensions. They're easier to make bigger. I was going to grab something like this, which you can see that would be difficult. That has its difficulty in making it larger or smaller, especially when you're dealing with radius and then the changes in the shape. So this, for instance, the person who did this was able to just create a tube here and then make it, this part of it, to the new dimensions. But that was doable. And you've got to increase the radius as it is. So in some of these, you'll be creating a rectangle and making it bigger. Other times with a circle, you'll be looking at the radius. We'll go over things like that. You will be responsible for your materials. This is not a project you have to spend any money on. You can just use any scrap pieces that you've got, but if you do want to go out and spend money, that is fine. It's up to you, but it is not necessary. We will be working on it in class, so you will have class time, and that will be during the blocks. Okay, so once you've decided on what you're going to do, you're going to find out what this is about. So you're going to be researching, answering these questions. So today, that is mainly what you'll be doing. Reading this, discussing with your partner. Oh, and by the way, when you put your name on this, put your name and your partner's name. Okay, the date and the period. Please don't forget to put the period. Okay, so for today, what you'll be doing, reading this over, discussing it, picking your partner, reading this, finding out about the assignment, any of the materials. You can look around the room. You see we have a lot of projects. So you'll be able to, you can get very creative. Lots of materials that we can use. And then answering the 8 questions here. And this should be 3 to 4 sentences on each answer on these questions. You can work together, obviously, on these. You can work with another group on these also, but everybody writes the answer down on their own paper. So everybody has a pink packet. Everybody will turn it in. And that's as far as you're going to get today. I will just show you the things you're going to be doing on this. I'm not going to go into detail on this, but you will be doing the original drawing. You'll be giving your project a name. You'll be figuring out the original dimensions and getting all that down. And then you'll be doing a drawing of your enlarged project. It's going to look the same as the original, except you're going to point out what the new measurements are. A similarity transformation will be done. I will explain that. And then as you work on the project, you will do some analysis and reflection questions when you're finished. And to make sure that you get the grade you want, there is a rubric for grading. So you'll look through that and find out what you have to do to get the grade that you want on this project. Okay, so that is what you'll be doing today. And please stay off your phones. You can use your Chromebook to look up information, not your phones. I know what a distraction they are. So same rules apply. I'm not here, but the phones stay put away, or they will be collected. Okay, have a great day, and I will see you next week. And a great weekend.